we are going to be talking about X-Men 97. Some people were really bitter about having some trans inclusion, not even like a full-on trans person, mind you, but just a person who is non-binary, who doesn't conform. That person is a shapeshifter, by all means. So, people are super mad about it. People get way bent out of shape. And if you want to keep track, if you want to count from the side chat, let's see how many times the John Del Rose, okay, how many times that he says woke?
Is called the slippery slope. They try to just normalize certain things one step at a time until you are that frog in a pot and it's just turning up the heat and you don't get out and you eventually boil. That's what they've been doing to our culture this entire time. And of course, X-Men 97 has a lot of these people working for this company that have done a lot of problems. We know it's Disney Marvel at the end of the day. People are hailing it just because the first couple of episodes don't have a ton of woke content or whatnot, even though people are going
don't have a ton of woke content. I beg to differ, dude. When I just watched it today. I watched the before, but the new episode came out today, so I rewatched everything again, and I documented. I started to document. I got way into the show, too much into the show to document it thoroughly, but I started to document it, and at 2 minutes in, I'd already heard a character trying to escape incarceration by claiming to be one of the good ones as a mutant, and then saying that they didn't ask to be born this way. So just 2 minutes in. So no wokeness at all. Sorry, but this dude is definitely one of the friends of humanity.
Comparing the second episode to some Trump narrative, which is very interesting. But the stars of the show, and of course Bo DeMeo, who was the showrunner who got fired just before the show, probably because of his OnlyFans crap that he was putting up there, disgusting, are making it clear that the message is an integral part of this. So
yeah, one of the people that worked on it is a gay guy with an OnlyFans, and people flipped out about that too. Talk about freaking uptight. And these are the people oh, no, we're free. We're the freedom of speech people, as long as it's the right kind of speech. They'll show Sydney Sweeney bouncing her boobs on Saturday Night Live and say wokeness is dead, but then demand that if someone is gay and has an OnlyFans that they operate privately, that they need to be canceled and ousted from society. It's a really bizarre mixture of what is appropriate degenerate behavior.
Everybody's quick to jump on this because it's less woke than other things. You guys got to be very careful. This is what Disney does, and this is what they attempt to do every single time. We're going to show you exactly what's being said by the star of Morph, of course, the non-binary character, which has been talked about quite a bit over the last...
Fucking Morph in my thumbnail. That's Morph. That's Morph in the thumbnail, guys.
Couple months, just in a few. My name's John Delarose. I am the most trusted name in comics news, thanks to you guys. We are the editor-in-chief of Fandom Pulse, and of course, I make my own comics and books. Those are available on my web store. If you want to support an alternative to the mainstream industry, that's a lot of fun. That doesn't have any of the woke agenda. I would definitely implore you to come check out my books. These are awesome stuff. Little something from everybody. If you have specific questions...
So you're anti-woke. You make your own anti-woke comics. That's adorable.
On any of the books, happy to answer in the description below. If you don't agree with my politics, if you're a woke fan of Disney Marvel, then you know what, you'll like my books too.
Well, if they're like, oh yeah, Superman says that gender is that there are only two genders, or Superman says a man can't be a woman, or Wonder Woman says that that she just wants to protect female spaces. If it's that kind of crap, then no, I definitely wouldn't be interested in your comics there, Delarose.
Here for everyone. I really am. Thank you guys so much for supporting us over the years. It's been awesome. We've seen a huge increase in sales over the last couple months too, so it's been a great amount of fun. Let's get into the news here with X-Men 97. This came from CBR, and this actor did a interview with CBR, and of course we went and uncovered the fact that this actor's JP Karliak is a big queer, gay, whatever activist in the voice acting community. He runs an organization dedicated towards getting queers more jobs, basically. And so this is what this guy says, and he came in and said didn't surprise him about the backlash over the non-binary morph. Borf. I'll talk nice one day. But this happened, and of course there was a bunch of backlash over this because they started putting out promo material claiming Morph is non-binary. And then this actor, what did he do at this point? He went out there in this interview with CBR as the show's launching and goes, well, of course he's not. He's a shapeshifter. That means...
Now, everybody who's queer in this section is going to have like a Jay Leno voice. It's just the way it is, right? I don't know why, but that's how this guy does all people that are left of hunting the poor for sport.
It could be whatever it wants, male or female, whatever. Just and this is the new sort of thing. They've changed shapeshifters in these kinds of fictions to be some sort of stand-in for gender ideology and sexualized sort of things. This is what they're trying to push on these characters at this point. This was not something that was what they were made of when it was a conceptual thing. Shapeshifters have existed in comics and science fiction for years and years and years. Nobody ever thought of it in these sorts of terms before. Morph is a boy. Morph has always gone by he in the show. And then this changes matters with the new X-Men 97 reboot. Now, they say that they don't actually say non-binary in the show. Now, they're trying to assuage audiences, and this is what they, again, do. They say, look, we don't say it in the show because non-binary wasn't really a word back in 1997. That's how they try to get you in. This is the...
Yeah, there wouldn't have been non-binary. Well, there wouldn't have been people that they identified as non-binary because there wasn't really a word that we had for that back then. I don't know when non-binary became part of our common vernacular. And I'm going to talk like this because that's how he thinks we all talk. I don't know when that became part of our vernacular, but yeah, as far as people that were non-binary or that existed in a state that would be considered non-binary, sure, they existed, they were there.
Slippery slope sort of thing that they always do. They're trying to get you to accept their ideological thing just because, if we don't say the word, maybe it'll be, not a big deal. They do this all the time too. Like they always talk about me or other people in comics and they're afraid to actually name us. And then they talk smack on Twitter and then they come out.
Why do you think that you're so important? I don't even know how to say your name. You're not that important, dude. I grew up on X-Men. I woke up every Saturday morning to get my X-Men on, right? I woke up every Saturday ready to watch, Storm and Rogue and Wolverine smash some Sentinels, and I didn't even know I was being taught about human oppression. I'm glad I know now. I think it was important for me to learn that. But I was a child that grew up with this. And I'm sorry if when you became an adult and realized that what they were talking about and found out you were on the wrong side of it, it upset you. But that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, my dude.
Out and they always go, oh, I didn't name you. Why are you offended? If you're not a literal Nazi, why would you be offended when we say we're anti-Nazi? This is their tactics on how they do things. It is.
Yeah, because you echo the Friends of Humanity, right? From the show, the villains from the show, which are humans that are bigoted against mutants, right? You echo their message, but towards queer people. But you can look at the Friends of Humanity and see that they're bigots, they're Nazis, right? But then you can't take the fact that you're echoing their same message and look in the mirror and say, I wonder how this is going to work out.
Passive aggressive. It's really gay at the end of the day.
Oh,
and it's feminine things. It is say we're anti-Nazi. This is their tactics on how they do things. It is passive aggressive. It's really gay at the end of the day.
Passive aggressive and really gay. I didn't know that there were still bro dudes who used gay as an insult. What's wrong with being gay, friend? What do you got against gay? You know how many X-Men are gay?
The day, and it's feminine energy is what it comes down to. And so,
oh no, not feminine energy. The feminine energy is going to take over, guys. It's going to take over our comic books. They're letting women write comic books and video games now. They're taking away big asses and giant boobs, but then they're making characters non-binary, which sexualizes it somehow. So Yeah.
So this kind of argument and manipulation is something that's not straightforward, and that's how they get people in the culture. They try to produce things with some fancy sort of, effects or whatnot, or nostalgia bait in this case, in order to get you in the door, and then they try to push their non-binary agenda further. Now, this guy is very, very open that this is his agenda. This is the voice actor for the show, Bo DeMeo.
Voice actors don't get to build their character direction, though. Voice actors get to voice act.
Who was the showrunner for the show, and he didn't get canceled over his politics or any backlash of the show. He only got removed because he did some creepy stuff with his gay OnlyFans.
There's nothing wrong with having an OnlyFans. Nothing at all. I'm sorry that you're so uptight that someone being able to profit off of their sexuality is a problem for you, but more power to them. Sex work is real work. Oh, I need to say. Oof. Yes.
So trying to push this agenda all the way. So don't be, misled by these people. Don't be gaslit by the fact that the first couple of episodes didn't have a ton of work.
They're just trying to lure you in. Pretty soon you'll be putting on your wife's underwear when she goes out for the night. You'll be sneaking lipsticks and stuff like that. It'll become a problem. It'll turn you totally femme. That feminine energy. They're just trying to sneak it in. You watch the first couple episodes. You're lured into the story plot, and then boom, femme bomb right up in your face. Now there is a new episode of it out today, and there is a character that blitzes the entire team that's female. You wouldn't, somebody that that you don't think could blitz the entire team, but she does, and with her feminine energy. It's pretty badass if you haven't watched the new episode. Anyway, let's see if he says anything else chud-worthy.
Content in it. You know what's coming. They always do this. It's called a bait and switch. This is what the nostalgia bait is meant to do. And stay vigilant.